On the news, Maiduguri flood. Speaker Abbas calls for succor to victims in the state. Electoral Act amendments. Stakeholders on matters arising.
To make sure that our laws are in line with the will of the people and also has a touch of present-day expectations.
Plus, proliferation of private clinics and schools of health. Niger State Assembly sets to regulate the activities in the state.
These bills should come to see the light of the day. That is exactly what we're going to adopt.
Good evening and welcome to Parliamentary News. I am NTA Ojonugba. Speaker, House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas has called on authorities responsible for emergencies to immediately provide succor to victims of flooding in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. The Speaker, in a statement, says he is disturbed by news of thousands of people displaced by recent flooding in Maiduguri. While empathizing with the victims, the Speaker enjoined residents of other cities where weather forecast by relevant authorities indicates there would be floods in the coming days and weeks to take all necessary precautionary measures. Speaker, House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas has condemned the attack on a hospital and the abduction of workers and patients by bandits in Birnin Gwari, Kaduna State on Monday. Bandits reportedly invaded a primary healthcare center at Lainda Alta village in Kuyelo Ward, Birnin Gwari local government area of Kaduna State, abducting 2 nurses and several patients. Speaker Abbas charges security agencies to go after the bandits and rescue those kidnapped from the hospital, as well as others in captivity across the country. Expressing worry over the spate of armed attacks in the country, the Speaker also advocates sustained efforts to rid every part of Nigeria of the menace of kidnapping, banditry and terrorism. And now to electoral matters. Statistics from the 2023 general elections and the output according to the National Assembly's Joint Committee on Electoral Matters recorded high level of interest in the past 24 years of Nigeria's democratic journey. To build on the successes recorded and future restore the people's confidence in the electoral process, the National Assembly's Joint Committee on Electoral Matters organized an interactive session with political parties and the judiciary to have input towards the amendment of the 2022 Electoral Act. Chairman of the committee, Senator Sharafaddin Abiodun Ali, says this is to further improve on Nigeria's democracy.
This is the beauty of legislative democracy. The will of the people is sacrosanct. There is always a window of opportunity for improvement, and we can always improve on what some have referred to as the best, to make sure that our laws are in line with the will of the people and also has a touch of present-day expectations.
To speak on some of the issues raised at the session with political parties and the judiciary is the Chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, Yusuf Maman Dantali. Mr. Chairman, what are the issues at stake as affects political parties in Nigeria?
One of the key things, or some of the key things that we projected, we're proposing, is that instead of having elections staggered, we all see the economic situation of Nigeria today, and then the distractions that trail staggered election. So if we were able to have election in one day, everybody will concentrate on his own election, and then it will reduce crisis. And then within the period, you see a lot of economic activities will be affected, will shut down academic activities in school. Students will have to go, and then but when we have this in one day, it will solve resources, it will save resources, it will solve a lot of problems. Secondly, you are aware that candidates, after winning election, winners of election or supposed winners of election, let me say that, they'll be sworn in, and then while they are in power, one, somebody is sworn in, he's not the winner of election, because at the end of the day, a court will upturn that victory. This person have made policies, he has administered, he has paid salaries, he has disbursed, okay, and then he has an advantage to use his position to influence the outcome of his supposed victory. So, but we want a situation where if you are declared the winner, all litigations concerning that election should be exhausted before such candidate or such winner will be sworn in. Various political parties have individual constitution that determines. So should it be that the constitution of the party will determine who is a candidate, who is a member of a party, at what point do you cease to be a member? So let it be, since votes belong to political party, everything belongs to a political party. So if you are leaving that party, let it be automatic. It's not a matter of litigation. As you are leaving, everything that the minimum qualification for office of a president, of a governor, of a senator is O-level certificate. And you and I know that O-level is I think that's the beginning of okay, that's the secondary certificate. Then you have the tertiary. Then you now have someone who have O-level, designing policies, administering the society, the economy, making policies, real policies, economic policies, political decisions, doing things. Who does not possess the requisite knowledge to manage the society? So for us, it is anachronistic, and then we need to look at it at maybe minimum BSc, university degree, or its equivalent, things like that.
Going by submissions of the judiciary, are you on the same page, or there are issues IPAC would want to highlight?
Exhaustion of litigation before swearing in of candidates. We're on the same page with the judiciary. The judiciary said, because the judiciary said most times you now begin to, pre-election matters will begin to creep into post-election matters. So now, after election or post-election matters have been exhausted, pre-election matter will still come and take the same person who was cleared by cleared of post-election matters. So we want to separate these things. So on that, the IPAC and the judiciary were in agreement.
Security on election days is critical for a successful election. What would you suggest should be done in that direction?
If you have machines, if there's automatic transmission of the vote from the BVAS to the IRF, it will equally reduce influence. But where you have people collating, we have had cases where you have, okay, on the IRF is different from what some individuals present.
Thank you very much, Chairman, Interparty Advisory Council, Yusuf Maman Dantali, for your insights. And still to come, proliferation of private clinics and schools of health. Niger State House of Assembly holds public hearing on the bill to regulate their activities. That will be after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back. The proliferation of private clinics and schools of health in Niger State has remained a source of concern for stakeholders in the health sector. It is in this regard that the House Standing Committee on Health and Nutrition held a one-day public hearing on a bill to regulate private clinics and schools of health in the states. Musa Mikael has the details.
The two bills, which have both scaled second readings and undergoing stakeholders' input for its harmonization in order to avoid duplication, are both private member bills, sponsored by members representing Payeko constituency, Omar Nasir, and that of Lapai, Idris Musabata. The first bill seeks to provide for an agency for the registration and regulation of private health care facilities in the state, while the second bill seeks to regulate schools of health care minimum standard so as to provide for basic standard to be observed by operators of private schools of health in the state.
In the state, a lot of our people still access healthcare through the private health establishments, be them primary healthcare facilities, clinics, hospitals, patent medicine stores, pharmacies, medical laboratory, and even scanning or radiological centers. So it is important that our people get the best quality while they access those services at those facilities.
We got a full submission by the various stakeholders we invited for this particular public hearing. We gave everybody the chance to present its own opinion in respect to these bills, and they have given us, and we have given them a deadline to submit the hard copy so that we can sit, harmonize the individual submission to come up with a final report.
Speaker Abdul Malik Sarkindaji emphasized the importance of the two bills, adding that if passed into law and ascended to, will address issues of quackery in the medical profession, which has increased morbidity and mortality rates in the state.
A department, not even within the Ministry of Health, that is saddled with the responsibility of checkmating the excesses or the existence or the establishment or the operation of private clinics across the state. It is just not possible. These bills should come to see the light of the day. That is exactly what we're going to adopt.
The committee will be collecting recommendations from stakeholders in the health industry for suitable mechanism that will regulate the conduct and affairs of private health facilities across the state. From the State Legislative Complex, Musa Mikael, NTA News.
4 bills have been passed by the Jigawa State House of Assembly, including the State Supplementary Appropriation Bill of more than 16 billion naira. Ibrahim Sani has more.
The 2024 Amendment Appropriation Bill was forwarded to the House Standing Committee on Appropriation for scrutiny and directed to report back their recommendations to the House for consideration. Addressing some of the development concerns, in addition to improving the quality of lives of the citizenry, are key objectives of the Amendment Bill. After careful observations, the committee reviewed provisions made for government agencies, service delivery operations, maintenance costs, and miscellaneous, among others, and therefore recommended for the reviewed budget to be passed, taking into account some adjustments. In another development, a bill seeking for a law to establish public health security, Jigawa State Water User Association Bill, as well as a bill seeking for the establishment of Jigawa State Sangay Education Board, have been passed during the plenary.
With this bill coming into law, the sanitary officers are allowed to go to each and every individual house in Jigawa State to inspect the beddings, cooking utensils, the whole general sanitations of the environment. And any defaulter found, he will be sanctioned by the appropriate authorities.
But the problem is the changes of the system entirely. So we want to integrate it into a proper way. We want to integrate it in the way that it's supposed to be in order to take our child for this kind of incumbent attitudes that have been put in place in this system.
These bills, when assented, are expected to stand a test of time and address some of the development issues affecting the socio-economic development of the state. In Dutse, Ibrahim Sani, NTA News.
Stakeholders in Ogun State power sector have commended the State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, and the State House of Assembly for putting in place a legislation that will address the energy challenge confronting residents and investors in the state. This was at a public hearing on the bill for a law to improve electricity generation, transmission, distribution, and other related matters in Ogun State. Yemi Dalemo completes the report.
Stakeholders in their contributions and inputs commended Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun for bringing up the executive bill and the House of Assembly for thorough legislative duties on the bill and resolved to accord the bill the priority it deserves. To them, the legislative process will help in shaping the future of the state power sector, noting that the engineers and technicians with background in power sector should be given major roles, while also encouraging public-private partnership to guarantee the success and sustainability of the state power sector law when operational.
Our input is the Director General shall have at least 15 years public experience in any relevant engineering profession, because we are talking about engineering activities there. In any relevant engineering profession and must be current registered.
In getting the commission board, in getting the commissioners for the commission, we ensure that technical people are well represented. I also want to urge this knowledge house to ensure that we have enough protection for the consumers.
The Speaker, Oludaisi Elemide, who lamented the adverse effects of epileptic power supply on socio-economic development of the country, says the determination of the present administration in Ogun State to create efficient and effective electricity market for the state is commendable and saluted the initiative of the National Assembly for decentralizing electricity generation and related matters in the country.
The House, in line with its legislative practice and procedure, organized this forum to provide an avenue for stakeholders to participate in an elaborate discussion on the proposed bill and make recommendations for further consideration by the appropriate House committee towards ensuring that the bill has necessary impetus and legislative gradients.
This is therefore the need for us all legislators to perform our duties as required by law, to accelerate the passage of this laudable bill proposed by the present administration to address the menace of electric power supply in the state.
Lawmakers, while calling on the stakeholders to forward their memorandum to the State House of Assembly for consideration, promised accelerated hearing on the bill. In Abuja, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
The Cross River State House of Assembly has adopted a motion for the establishment of Parliamentary and Political Museum in the states to preserve political information and records of the legislature. Uduak Etim reports that this came after deliberations by members of the 10th Assembly.
A motion brought before the Cross River State House of Assembly by member representing Calabar South 2 constituency Victor Nsa stressed the need to establish Parliamentary and Political Museum in the state. This, he said, will serve as a reference center for the storage of political parliamentary information and also support research on history of the state democracy.
The establishment of this center will help to collect, conserve and regularly exhibit materials related to the history of parliamentarian and statesmen who have made significant contribution to it.
Members of the 10th Assembly, while reacting, highlighted the importance of Parliamentary Political Museum in the state, noting that it will keep records of the legacies of legislators.
Institution to, refresh my memories as well, and the library, the museum, and those institutions. I therefore align myself with what was said previously and appeal that this motion be a swift passage.
Speaker, it is important that we know who is who in the state. Recently, we asked students, thank God that this history and the product are curriculum now. We asked the students who was the first military administrator of the state, they did not know, or who is the first political one of the state, they don't know. So if the record are kept properly, it will help us to track record on those who have achieved this.
To anywhere where the museum is established, This was my grandfather, my great-grandfather, who was in the 10th Assembly in Cross River State. This museum is finally established. History will remain. History is dying daily. I am saying this because I have the privilege of belonging to that sector that was part of governance in this place.
The House resolved that the state government should establish a parliamentary political museum as a warehouse for the political parliamentary heritage in Cross River State. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
The Kogi State House of Assembly has passed a vote of confidence on Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo, citing his remarkable achievements across all sectors within the past 7 months. Speaker of the House, Umar Aliyu Yusuf, said testimonies from members of the Assembly provided sufficient evidence to commend the governor's performance. Jacob Sani reports that several nominees for appointments, including members of the Anti-Corruption Agency and other bodies, were presented to the House for screening.
The Kogi State House of Assembly, upon resumption from recess, deliberated on the votes and proceeding of the July 5, 2024 section. However, no observations were made. Subsequently, a letter from Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo concerning committee assignments was read by the Speaker of the House, Umar Aliyu Yusuf.
I wish to forward the names hereunder nominated as Chairman, Director of Operations, and Director of Administration, Kogi State Anti-Corruption Commission for screening and clearance. Name: Honorable Justice Henry Adebola Olusi. Position: Chairman. 2. Dauda Onimisi Bello, Director of Operations. Dr. Teja Azumuju Seidu, Director of Administration. My recommendation is in line with the provision of the Part 3, from Part 2 of Section 6, 1A to 1I of the law establishing the Commission.
During the recess, the member representing Ankpa constituency, Akus Lawal, took the opportunity to document the achievement of Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo.
His Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo is building on the legacies of his predecessor by investing massively in the overall well-being of Kogite. The Right Honorable Speaker and my distinguished colleagues, below are some of the interventions in the health sector in Kogi State in the last 7 months. A. Formal commencement of health insurance scheme capturing over 30,000 workers in the state with 3-month advance payments by Kogi State government, with plans to scale up to include pensioners and local government workers. The governor also graciously approved the continuation of bellow care for the vulnerables and PWDs in the state.
Lawmakers from the 3 senatorial districts of Kogi State gave positive assessments of the state's 5th executive governor.
Now that is out of the pressure, the court case and all that over, I believe he will do better and better.
In light of the anticipated flooding, the member representing Ajakuta constituency, Abuja, called for the major rehabilitation of access roads. His colleagues echoed similar concerns, requesting attention for all flood-prone local government areas in the state.
House to direct the Ministry of Works and the Kogi State Road Rehabilitation Agencies to visit roads and bridges in all the flood-prone LGAs.
That's it on Parliamentary News this evening, but you can still watch our news and other programs on our social media handles scrolling on your screen. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful evening. I am Ene Ojonugba. Bye for now.